Hey everyone, welcome back to As Told by Nia. I am Nia, and today we will be doing the Booktube Newbie Tag so that you can get to know me a little bit more as a reader. All right, so jumping right into it, the first question is, why did I start this channel? So the short of it is I just wanted to have a video diary. I love watching other people's vlogs. I love the idea of having something to look back on. So I thought I would hop on the train and do the same. I will go ahead and link the longer version, which is my intro video. That way you can go check that out. So the second question is, what are some unique things that I can bring to BookTube? Honestly, I just think it's being authentically me. I don't always love to follow trends, doing the same thing everyone else is doing. I used to do a lot of that when I first joined Bookstagram, and it just becomes exhausting, and I feel like there's not a whole lot of individuality to it. Another thing is I don't love giving very detailed book reviews, or at least writing them. It feels like doing a book report in school, and honestly, after getting my master's degree, I'm so done with anything that feels like school. So I'm very much just about the vibes and how the book made me feel, and I'll just focus a lot more on that. Question number 3, what am I most excited for? So I will say one of my favorite things about Bookstagram has been being able to meet and connect with people over our shared interest of reading. So I'm hoping that coming over to the BookTube side, it'll be the same thing. I'd love to connect with more people, kind of expand my horizons. I feel like BookTube is a whole other situation. So I'm definitely looking forward to that and seeing what else I can learn. All right, question number 4 is, why do I love reading? And this is super easy to answer. One, I love being able to jump into other cultures, see other ways of life, things that I would not normally be exposed to. I'm able to gain insight through reading, and I think that's very valuable. Additionally, I love just getting immersed into another world and escaping the real world. I think we can all agree that with the state of today's world and then working a 9 to 5 and adulting and doing all the things, it's so nice to be able to just sit down, open your book or turn on your Kindle or put on your headphones and then just completely escape to another world. It's super relaxing and just one of my favorite things to do. All right, question number 5 is, when did I start reading? So I honestly can't pinpoint it. I've been reading ever since I was a little kid. I have very fond memories of like getting out of school, doing my homework, and then just sitting on the porch and reading until dinner time. It was definitely my favorite hobby growing up. I did fall out of it a little bit once I went to college, just because of all the academic reading and whatnot. I just didn't really have time for it. And I don't think I was really hip to audiobooks back then. I wish I was. So in college, I did fall off a bit, but once college was done, I definitely picked reading back up and have just been reading ever since. Question number 6 is, what book got me into reading? It wasn't just one book, it was multiple. The Junie B. Jones series, the Magic Treehouse series, a series of unfortunate events, which was my absolute favorite. Amelia's Notebook was really fun. I have very fond memories of reading that. And then the Dear America series as well, which is historical fiction, which I don't exactly love now, which is funny, but I did really love that series as a kid. And then, as I mentioned, I kind of fell out of reading during college, but post-college, I discovered Jasmine Guillory, so her The Wedding Date series really got me back into reading. And then Elizabeth Acevedo's The Poet X was just absolutely phenomenal. It's one of my most favorite books to this day, and really got me back into reading, and especially YA. Question number 7 is, what kinds of books do I like to read? So I am a big romance girly. I love a good romance novel, whether they're fluffy, whether they're a little bit more serious, like Kennedy Ryan's books. I love a good romance novel. I also have been recently getting into mysteries and thrillers, but I feel like I'm not really into that world, so I really do need some recommendations. If you have any, please drop a comment below and I will definitely check those out. Occasionally I'll read memoirs, but it has to be somebody that I'm interested in just because I'm not really a big nonfiction person. I get very bored with nonfiction. No offense to anyone who does love it, but it does not do a lot for me. So if I'm reading a memoir, it has to be somebody that I'm interested in. Literary fiction is also a big one for me. I feel like I don't necessarily read it a lot or as much as I want to though, just because I kind of read what's trending, but I'm trying to get out of that this year. So if you also have any literary fiction recs, please drop them in the comments and I will add them to my TBR. I also love to read young adult books as well as dystopian. Don't ask me why I love dystopian. I don't know. I think it probably stems from the Hunger Games, but they keep my interest, they keep me on my toes, and I really enjoy reading them. Question number 8 is, where do I read? So I primarily read in my bed. Nothing feels better to me than after a long work day, taking a shower, getting cozied up in my bed with my hooded blanket, and pulling out my Kindle and just snuggling up. I do have one of those Kindle stands that I use, and I have a Kindle clicker so that I can just be all snuggled up and still be able to turn the pages. It is the most comfortable, cozy thing, and I love it. Occasionally I'll read at my desk, like if I'm having a slower work day and don't really have other to-dos to get through, I'll sit at my desk and read just so I can also like keep an eye on my email. That would be place number 2, but other than that, it is primarily my bed. All right, moving on to question number 9, which is, what does my book collection look like? So let's take a field trip. All right, so this first bookshelf is kind of just like, I don't know, just like overflow. So these are books that I didn't necessarily want to showcase in my living room. A lot of them are ARCs. I have my memoirs. And then again, just an overflow of books that like I didn't really love or that I've just had for a long time, and also some ARCs. This is my entertainment stand filled with half read, half unread books. This is my main bookshelf in my living room filled with authors of color, Black authors that I absolutely adore. And then as we get towards the bottom, I have just a random mixture of books that I've loved, ARCs. I have a lot of books from high school. And then I also have some cookbooks that I don't really keep in my kitchen. I just threw them here. And last is my most favorite bookshelf dedicated to Kennedy Ryan. I have, I believe, all of her published books so far here. I also have 2 copies of Score that are coming when it releases next month. You'll see in the middle, I have Real, which is my most absolute favorite book by her to date. I have 3 different versions. Don't judge me. So yeah, this is my little shrine to her. Absolutely love her. The last and final question is, what challenges will be hard to overcome starting this channel? And honestly, I think for me, it's just going to be staying consistent with my 9 to 5 and just having to adult in general. It can be hard to be consistent with things like these. But the good news is I have found that I am really enjoying doing this. I love the editing process, even though I'm still learning, which is also going to be a bit of a hurdle. But I really like it. So I think it might be okay, but it definitely will be my #1 challenge. Also, being a perfectionist will be a bit difficult to overcome. I'm very much type A. I like for things to look a certain way. I like for things to look very clean. And since I'm not perfect with editing, it's going to be a challenge. But I think the thing I need to remember is I'm really just doing this for fun. It does not need to be the most perfect masterpiece in the world. It's okay to just get things out there and to learn along the way. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, learning a little bit more about me as a reader. If you liked this video, please give it a like and be sure to subscribe. I think my next video will be a bookish this or that, so make sure you come back to see what I prefer when it comes to reading. All right, have a good week, everyone, and I'll see you next time.